A very good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. And at this point in time, we are looking at what's happening in Mozambique. So, Venancio Mondlane has announced that protests are going to run from tomorrow, that is Monday, to Wednesday, the 15th. And remember, I think tomorrow we are going to see MPs being sworn in. More than 200 MPs must be sworn in tomorrow. And then on the 5th, we must see Venancio Mondlane being sworn in as, Daniel Chapo being sworn in as the president of Mozambique. And parallel, we will see also Venancio Mondlane being inaugurated or being sworn in as the president again, is he announced. What is very, very important to note is that the protests have already started today, the 12th. People are already in the streets, and we have seen closures of road in Osoro, in Ambane, and other parts of the country. So Justice Frandl says the situation in Ambane and in Osoro is critical, and the roads are already blocked. Residents cannot afford to wait until Monday. So this is what is happening at this point in time. We have seen buses are being used to block roads, the trucks are being used to block roads, and this is what is happening at this point in time. So yesterday, Venancio Mondlane was live, and he explained how his people were attacked. He was supposed to visit what he calls Sipanmine market. So his people were attacked there, and I think he then ended up not attending that visit which he wanted to do. So the protests are starting Monday, the 30th of January, and this is when 250 members of parliament are being sworn in. And the people of Mozambique, they really want change. So Venancio Mondlane said that what happened is that Frelimo did a coup, and they say he took the constitution of the republic and placed it under its feet and crushed it. So they say it took the laws, placed them under its feet and crushed them. And it took human rights, placed them under its feet and crushed them. This is what Venancio Mondlane said when he was doing his live program yesterday. So this is something which is very, very important at this point in time, because you would see that change is much needed, especially in Mozambique, in the entire SADC region, and everyone is eager to know what will happen next, especially for Mozambique. So at this point in time, we will see what is going to happen tomorrow. Other people believe that it's most likely that tomorrow the MPs might not be sworn in. If the protesters manage to do the protest very well, you will see the swearing in ceremony of the MPs not happening. If they fail to do the swearing in ceremony for the MPs, then it will be an achievement, it will be victory for Venancio Mondlane. But the major question is, what is the motive of Venancio Mondlane? Let's say he becomes president. Let's say he takes over power. What is his motive? Can he lead Mozambique without parliament? So that is something which is very, very important, which need Venancio to be, to tell the plan, so that everyone knows what is going to happen. And that is very, very important, because you would not expect to use the same MPs in parliament as a president. So I hope and believe that the plan or the idea will be to form a government, a transitional government, then usher in fresh elections. I believe that would be the plan. So if they manage to stop the swearing in of MPs, then if Chapo is sworn in, he won't be able to form a government, because the MPs will still be out of office. So it's something which is very, very important and very critical at this point in time. The law says the MPs must be sworn in first, and then the president follows. So That is critical. Then, secondly, is Venancio going to stop the inauguration of Daniel Chapo? So if there are threats of protest, they are likely to do these things in private places, which means they will gather at one place and they will do whatever they will have to do. And then after that, they will do it maybe on live on television or whatsoever. Or what they need is to have that to make sure that this government is placed or is given charge. So the job is with Venancio and his team. How do they plan to execute this? How do they plan to stop whatever which is going to happen tomorrow and the 15th? So very, very critical, very, very important at this point in time. And remember, it will be very, very deadly starting tomorrow up to the 15th. And also we might see the state responding to Venancio Mondlane harshly. So it's very, very interesting. This week is very, very critical, and it's good for him to remain safe. It's good for him to be safe, because still they will be trying by all means possible to hit on him or to assassinate him, so as to stop him totally. So at this point in time, whatever happens from tomorrow to the 15th, you might see Mozambique having new leadership. You might see Frelimo people fleeing from Mozambique. I said you might, which means these are possibilities. So what I see happening is that if Venancio still, since he is in the country, if he manages to mobilize everyone, and if he manages to put more pressure, for example, let's say the MPs are gathering, are having their swearing in ceremony, and then the people storms in the place or the venue, and everybody scatters, and they take over maybe the presidential palace, or they take over critical offices, they seize everything. That is going to make everything fall. And that is where the point you're likely going to see people fleeing, people running away from Mozambique. So I believe that if this thing starts tomorrow, the next day, the 14th, is going to be very, very important, because that is the last day of Nyusi as the president of Mozambique. So we're likely going to see force being used. I believe that is the only option for Venancio Mondlane. If the military does not step in to stop Daniel Chapo, the only way is for Venancio Mondlane himself to force things to happen, or to make sure that he forces these people to flee. So he will be using people power to attain or to achieve whatever he wanted. It has been proven that the people of Mozambique can, if they are given a command or an instruction, they can actually do something. So it is what it is. We'll continue to watch and see what is going to happen starting from tomorrow. Remember, today they've started gathering, they've started protesting already, and tomorrow it will be a continuation, and up to the 15th. So it's very, very interesting. These days are very, very interesting. One other option, you might see the inaugurations happening at night. Whilst the people have gone back home, you might see these legislators and everyone else gathering at night, and then they'll swear each other. Then in the afternoon, they do nothing, they do everything in the evening, which means for the SADC leaders, for the African leaders, it's most unlikely that they won't be going to Mozambique for this inauguration. This is what we have. We'll continue to watch and see what is happening in the nation Mozambique, and we will continue to update.